The Surfing Violinist presents Reunion Violin Vlog 43. July started and ended with gigs with Anthony Peebles. With John Cummings returning for a visit, we did an impromptu reunion show and packed into Bergen Barrel on July 3rd. I once again was having trouble with my pickups, so I just mic'd my violin. Not an ideal setup, but we made it work. My cousin Jessica was even able to make it, which was a blessing. The very next day we went to visit family for 4th of July, and after a bit of negotiation, my cousin Henry was persuaded to pick up his violin for the first time in a long time. Right before we went to India, Henry and I played Mozart's Mirror Duet, which was featured in a very early vlog, so we tried it again. We're going to need a bit more practice, both of us. Committing to the surfing violinist bit, I've been using surf pictures as promo posts for weekend gigs, and in July, they were almost exclusively Bergen Barrel, except for a quartet gig with Anthony at Papa Joe's, which was another well-received gig. Anthony has started a tradition of letting our drummer Jeffrey Bouet frontman a few songs per gig, and those always go over well. Jeff's a great singer, and when he covers Boot, Scoot, and Boogie, especially at Papa Joe's, it's a big hit. The July Bergen Barrel gigs elicited some of the most wide-ranging song requests I've ever received, including Britney Spears' Toxic, Mariah Carey's Fantasy, Sting's Desert Rose, and in a surprise twofer Sucker Punch request from a new return Bergen Barrel visitor named Zeb, I believe from Dothan, who started off with a request for Mozart's Violin Concerto No. 3, which is the only one I happen to know well enough to play from the beginning off the top of my head. And then he followed that request up with Lil Wayne's Lollipop. So I tried doing a medley that started with the intro solo passage of the Mozart 3 right into a piano rendition of Lollipop I found on Music Notes that was remarkably well adapted. And I think that might be a first in Bay County song request history, Mozart into Lil Wayne. It went better than expected. Speaking of sucker punches, I often try new beers at Bergen Barrel, so I gave the Distill Brewery Spicy Pickle Sour Beer a try. And let me tell you, it reminded me of those times when you pick up a drink thinking that you got something else, like you think you ordered sweet tea, but you forgot you switched at the last second to lemonade. It was kind of like that. Every single time I took a sip, I was sucker punching myself over and over. It's pretty tart. Mel and I had an impromptu date at Ferrucci's and sat in their newly renovated side room, which is quite lovely. The owner Minta said hi, and we asked if maybe I could play in that room in an upcoming week, and she made it happen. It was a cozy gig and quite well received. On the last day of the month, Anthony, Jeffrey, and I played a gig at Alice Beach, and while I've never quite been too involved in facilitating the sound checks, other than playing my instrument, I've been helping to serve as an ear on the ground more often, especially in the bigger shows with a bigger sound setup, and this time I put in more input than normal. There's so many moving parts to all kinds of human endeavors, and as I've said before, when it comes to gear and music, I've been too focused on my own lane to really glean all that I could and should about the bigger picture. It all works so much better when you know how it all fits together and how you fit in with the rest of these musicians, not just musically, but from a sound design perspective. And this is of course not just important for live music performance, but also for recorded music production, which I hope to be spending more time with in upcoming years. Until next time, keep it consistent, even if your muse isn't. To see these videos early, without ads, join the lineup here on YouTube. You just need a YouTube account, and for $1.99 a month, you click this little join button and sign up to get early and ad-free access to 4 monthly vlogs: the surf vlog, the violin vlog, the Masala vlog, and the family vlog. Thank you very much.